my vocabulary started as work-life balance because I think that's what you learn and that's what the world tells you, and I think it migrated into like work-life blend because that's the reality. A lot of times I show up to work and have a kid with me, right? Or at a game. It's sort of how we blend it together, I think, is what I'm still learning versus compartmentalizing and being like, now I'm in work mode. Nope, I'm at home, so I need to be in mom mode. Nope, now I'm on date night, so I need to be in date night mode with my husband. So I'd be curious, like, Andrea, you've been here for so long, like, where do you think we still have opportunities to get better?
I think this is a great opportunity to be able to talk about how it really is a lie, and the balance isn't going to be 50-50. But for me, it's like, okay, well, there's a day where it's 90-10, then I try to swing it the other way and say, you know what, I'm gonna take the little bit extra time here to be able to focus on something at home or at work when that fluctuates.
Yeah, I focused so much on my professional life for so long, and I thought the personal side would just come naturally, and it didn't. And so I had a baby on my own, and it's been, I mean, I've been on cloud 9 ever since. So for me, it's just, I have such gratitude for having this opportunity.
It's hard for everybody, especially in sports. Like we talked about, like, it's a lifestyle in terms of how we operate, and I think everybody needs that support just so that they're really healthy in their personal life. So.
Yeah, I think the work-life balance too, I think Sarah and I can speak to it because we've been at the company for so long, and the change we've seen with work-life balance now, I think, has been a huge asset to working moms. I mean, I remember you saying when you first started, like, I'm a mom, I'm a chef, I'm an Uber driver. You know, you went through like all these different things. You're like, oh, and I'm the president of the Blackhawks. But it was like number 5 on your list. So it was like, that's so cool. You know, it was like, she's all these other things too. Whereas before you think, oh, the executives or the presidents have to be this certain model, this certain shape, this certain way, rather than being like, oh no, there's a life. They have a life.
I think the really cool thing that I can say, and I'd be curious your opinion, because you have older kids, I have older kids. I think the lessons that my kids are learning, both my sons and my daughter, have been invaluable seeing a mom work.
I definitely agree with you, and I've heard my children say that. I've heard them during conversations say, well, I kind of knew how to do it because I saw it. Now I have grandkids, and my daughter will be like, I know I'm gonna get through it because my mom figured it out. I know it can be done.
I came back at the start of the 2015 Stanley Cup playoffs. That was like my first week back. Was
Well,
like,
welcome back to work.
I mean, so
But
then,
I remember it was like, and you were going on the sponsor trips a lot, like
Yeah.
you were traveling with the team. But I remember always thinking, like, Sarah's like, you're like a warrior, like she's going,
just
you know,
figure it
she's,
out. Yeah, I would often think, I'm like, oh, if they knew I was what was in my suitcase, you know, so because I'm just, traveling with my pump, just giving myself shots in the opposing team's, stadiums while I was trying to get pregnant.
How was it, Annie, with nobody else having babies when you came back to work, so you were kind of flying solo there?
Yeah, I was actually nervous to tell my boss. I thought I was gonna lose my job, or I was gonna
I waited a long time too.
Yeah, like you're gonna look down like, ooh, okay, how are you gonna balance life? There was actually no, like when I went to HR to tell them I was pregnant, they were like, oh, okay, they were like kind of rifling through the handbook, like, what do we do here?
We don't normally see that.
Yeah, there was no policy. There was no policy, like, no one at the Blackhawks is ever gonna get pregnant, so we don't need to write a policy for it. So they actually had to give me someone else's office that she actually went on maternity leave as I was coming back. So I had someone else's office, and they had to buy me a little fridge for the office because I was pumping. And then, and then Sarah,
I
got
think I got
pregnant
your
right
refrigerator.
after.
So
Yeah, so
your
you got my
refrigerator,
fridge,
and
right?
then I was like, I wonder if people can hear through the walls,
Yes.
because you're in the office and you're like, so you have to be very specific about your time and make sure that every minute is valuable and used in the right way.
I was very career-driven when I started, and of course got pregnant with Avery, my oldest. And I actually decided to stay home after having her. And then after having my second, right after that, I was going crazy and decided I need to go back to work. And there are a number of things that I remember that I missed with my kids. So I was on the road and I missed my second for the first time he walked. He could care less. He walks just fine, but I still carry mom guilt about that. And I think what I've realized is I've made a series of choices to go for work over kids because I thought I needed to do that. For us, those choices are being gone on weekends and nights, right? We work 8 to 5, and then we're there extended hours, and on Saturday and Sunday, and on holidays. So I'm curious if you guys ever feel like you were ever judged or put extra pressure on yourself.
I mean, I think I'm the one judging me most often.
I think we're the
Like
harshest
that.
critics.
Like last week was my first time being away from my son for 2 nights. Like because he's only 5 months old, and so when I was gone, I was like, man, like he's gonna do something. Like I'm gonna miss something. And so in that moment, like it was just kind of like I'm actually the person that's putting all this pressure on me. Like there are.
That's also another thing that most women come back and they're like, you're not only working your full-time job when you come back, but you're still expected to maintain a household, and that means doing all the chores.
Are you doing that?
I'm burned out, like trying to do everything. I mean, my dad the other day was giving my daughter like eggs that I didn't know where they came from, and I was like, oh, were they organic? Like, and I'll do laundry at like 1 a.m. when I get back from a game just because I need pajamas or something. But I can't do it all, and I'm learning that in my first year as a parent. I'm trying to do it all, and it's not really working.
You think you have it figured out when your kids are little, and then you go, oh, when they get back in school, I'll have balance. And then it's just a different set of demands. And now I have kids in college, kids in high school, kids in elementary school, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the reality is you never figure it out.
Leaving my son for the first time hurt, and I was like, oh, I'm abandoning him. What if I'm not good at this? And I had more self-doubt, and I think as a woman, you have more self-doubt than most men do. And looking at the working environment too, I mean, I'd wonder like how you see like gender equality now and how important it is, seeing women in your role and all of our roles.
So one of the experiences I had in my former job, which I'm trying to bring now into the Blackhawks, is, we were hiring a bunch of professionals to come in, and I am like crazy about pay equity. And so I had thought, okay, we're gonna put all the right frameworks and protections in place so that we don't have inequity between the females and the males starting. And over time, we would analyze it and realize, gosh, there's still these gaps. Why are these gaps happening? And one of the things that I've learned, the women were not advocating for themselves when they were coming in and taking jobs. So we would offer them the job, and very few of them would actually negotiate. Consistently, the guys were negotiating on salary. And then as they got promoted, they're still negotiating. They're actually asking for the promotions. They're very proactive in advocating for themselves. And then they would still negotiate on salary as they're getting promoted. And the women would either wait and get the promotion, or even if they were advocating themselves, felt like, okay, I'm getting promoted, so I'm not also gonna ask for the money, because I'm gonna be grateful that I'm getting the promotion.
I feel like if you're negotiating, you're complaining. Like if a woman's
Yeah.
negotiating, they're complaining. If a man's negotiating, they're standing up for themselves. So it's like this stigma.
I mean, you and I've had this conversation, right?
Yeah.
When you started, you felt like you had to actually choose.
Yeah, I was 4 months pregnant when I was recruited to come work for the Blackhawks. I'm
just
just
happy
so
to be
excited. Like this was my dream job, right? And so because I was 4 months pregnant, I was like, well, I have to negotiate like more maternity leave because what you're offering me is just like not enough. Like I just know it's not gonna be enough. And so I felt like I had to choose between like, what am I gonna actually pick my battles with here? Because I'm so grateful, so I don't wanna feel greedy that I should negotiate my salary.
Right.
And I should negotiate my maternity leave.
And that should have never been a choice you had to make, right? Ever.
Like there was nobody that like made me feel that pressure. It was just like, from I think societal pressure. Like it's like, if you ask for both of these things, then you are complaining or you want too much.
I remember my first role back, the lead to the conversation was, I know you're a mom, I know you need this, so maybe you only want to work part-time. I think they were saying that so that I would say yes, knowing that it was not a part-time role. Like I stepped foot in this role and I was excited to be there, but there was no way this was a part-time role, and they just felt like saying it that way, I would take it. And I did go back and say, this is not a part-time role. There's no way this is possible to be a part-time role. It will be a full-time role, and you will compensate me based on that full-time role.
So if you were a guy and they were like, I know you're a dad,
Yeah.
but this is gonna be okay.
I mean,
Easy.
Actually,
You'll be
when I was
fine.
pregnant and I was applying for a very full-time job too, the interviewer had asked me, like, because I was super pregnant, well, you're not really looking for anything like full-time or serious, right? And I didn't even think about it when he asked. I was like, no, I am. And then I was like, what do I need to say, like, to prove that I'm ready? Like, but if it was my husband interviewing, he never would have said, oh, yeah.
How do you think we continue to reshape the workforce? Like, to you, success for the Blackhawks in a couple of years looks like what for the women?
I think it was really important when we first spoke, I think when you first started, and you asked us, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be in your career? And I thought that was so different. I have now started to do that with some of my colleagues. Like, what's your end goal? Where do you want to be in 2, 3, 5, 10 years? Because they're younger, right? So I think just having that dialogue, like, it's okay if this isn't the role for you for the rest of your life and you're going to stay in this role, but how can I help you grow and develop you as a professional to make you what maybe you aspire to be?
It's a team environment and it's vital to act as a team. So your success is my success. I think building a team environment, and that's why I've wanted to work in sports my whole life.
And sports are so powerful to community, to individuals, so that's, I think, why I have fallen in love with the Blackhawks and been here so long, just because I know the good that sports can do, whether it's raising exposure, raising money.
I really like the fact that it's life lessons. When I started in sports, I was around hockey, I loved hockey, but what really kept me there was the life lessons that people learn through sports.
I love sports. So if I'm going to choose, because it is trade-offs, you are making choices every day. If I'm gonna choose something that's not my family, it better be worth it. You know, I ask people all the time, like, I know why you came to the Blackhawks, but why do you stay at the Blackhawks, or why do you stay in the job? And for me, like, you have to love it, because you are trading off whatever it might be. So I think for me, I have to love it. It's got to be worth it. Well, I want to thank all of you guys for coming and for your honesty. I hope this continues. So let's do a toast to the hardest job on earth. We are so proud of you. We see you, and we're in it together.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.